and thanks very much for having me. My name is Layal Hakim, and I'm an associate professor in the Department of Mathematics and Statistics. I'm also one of two directors of education and student experience within the department at the University of Exeter.
Thank you. So what is one exciting thing about being a mathematician?
I find maths a great subject when it comes to learning different approaches to problem solving, the different mathematical mindsets, learning new things, new theorems, new ways of proving those theorems and other mathematical statements. I love how various pure mathematicians or various applied mathematicians look at problems in different ways and tackle those problems in different ways too. And going forward and applying those to real life applications just further interests me as well.
Did you have a role model that motivated you to become a mathematician or someone you look up to? How has this influenced your path?
I find this a great question. I've had a lot of role models growing up. When I was much younger, I was actually more interested in the artistic subjects. I loved art and drama and English literature. And for a long time during my childhood, it was English literature that I really wanted to do when I grew up. But that changed when I moved to Lebanon, which is where I'm originally from. So I was born and raised in London, but when I was 13, I moved to Lebanon. We lived there for 2 years. And the particular school that I went to there really focused a lot on maths and science, and the teachers that I had there really inspired me and motivated me to look further deeper into mathematics. And it was then that I started to open up more to maths. And when I returned to the UK, did my GCSEs and my A-levels, I was drawn to choose maths and science subjects in my A-levels because of the inspiration that I got back when I lived in Lebanon. And during my A-levels, I was really inspired by one of my teachers. Her name is Helen Whitfield, and the way she looked at maths problems and the way she taught maths topics really inspired me to learn more about it. And I would say she was also one of my role models in mathematics that also led me to taking mathematics later on at university level.
What obstacles have you encountered along your journey in science that you believe are specific to lack of diversity? And how did you overcome them?
So there were a few challenges. Shortly after I finished my PhD, I joined another maths department in London. So I went to Imperial College to do a postdoctoral research associate position in the Department of Computing there. And that was after having done my degree and my PhD at Brunel University, London, within the same department. So one challenge I faced was moving from maths to computing. So I was part of the computing department. I really enjoyed the project, but it was something that was outside my field. It was very different to the PhD project that I was looking at. It was a completely different field. And we looked at high performance computing problems. And although I found that interesting, just going from one subject to a completely different subject, found a little bit challenging. I then moved to the maths department within the same university, within Imperial College London, for another postdoc position. However, during my time there, I went through 2 maternity leaves, so I had 2 kids early on in my career, and it was shortly after my second maternity leave that I moved to the University of Exeter and started my lectureship here at Exeter. And I noticed that in the universities that I've worked in so far, there was a lot of flexibility in academia in terms of balancing personal life and your academic career. So I was able to do the job that I love while also balancing childcare. And although that was doable, it was quite tough going home, saying to myself, I haven't done everything that I've done so far today that I wanted to do, but that's fine, I'll do it tonight. But when I go home and I'm exhausted and I'm spending time with the kids. So I would say being an academic parent comes with its challenging, and it's hard to kind of catch up with a couple of hours of work in the evening. That's for many of us academic parents, it's almost impossible. So I would say that's one of the, not obstacles, but I'd say maybe challenges while being an academic. Another one is, I would say, one of the challenges was being from the group that I belong to, in terms of the community that I belong to. So there aren't many women from ethnic minority backgrounds doing mathematics or doing STEM in general. So there is a gap in that, and there's also a lot of stereotypes. So there's a lot of stereotypes around who belongs where. Unfortunately, still till today, there are a lot of people saying, oh, you know, physics is a male subject or engineering is for boys. I remember when I was a student studying mathematics, I was really into engineering, and the PhD project that I did was an engineering-based project. And there were still talks of saying, oh, you're doing like a male subject. And I was thinking, what is a male subject? There's no such thing as a male subject or a female subject. There's no such thing. So it's all about doing the subject and the topic that you enjoy. So there's no such thing as a particular topic belonging to a certain group of people. So in terms of breaking those stereotypes and challenging what some people say, you have to remember that you are your own person. And so the way I see it is, before I'm a woman, or before I'm an academic, before I'm a mathematician, before I'm an Arab, before I'm a Muslim, before I'm a mother, before I'm anything, I'm a person. And just like everybody else, just like every other person, I have my individuality. And so when people meet me on a personal level and they get to know more about me, what I like to do, the interests that I have at work, then they realize that their initial expectations about me were wrong. And just because I belong to a specific group of people, be it by chance or by choice or by birth, it doesn't necessarily mean that it doesn't mean that those stereotypes apply to me. And so I think it's really important to, whatever you're studying now or in the future, not to have a mindset of, oh, this particular subject or this particular career belongs to this set of groups of people. So just to kind of completely break down those barriers and go for anything that you enjoy doing.
Reflecting on the challenges in your career, is there any advice for aspiring or early mathematicians who are facing the same obstacles?
Yeah, so I would say, to continue from what I said previously, is to do whatever you enjoy doing. So, you know, it might shock people. So, for example, a lot of people that get to know me for the first time in my personal life when they ask me, oh, what am I doing? And I say, oh, I'm an academic. They say, oh, wow, that, you know, that's, for some reason they didn't expect it. And then they would say, in what subject are you an academic? And I would say, in mathematics. And then there's a bigger wow. And so those wows, although they don't mean any wrong by it, those wows just clearly show that, for some reason, depending on what I look like or what group of people I belong to, it's for some reason it's not an expectation that I'm a mathematician. But I'd say to completely ignore those wrong expectations and just to go ahead and do whatever it is that you wanna do. And you might come across challenges. So it's okay to have challenges along the way. Everybody has challenges, regardless of what they're doing or who they are or what those challenges look like. We all go through obstacles and challenges along the way, when we were students, when we're postgraduate students, whether we go into academia or industry, we go through various challenges, and it's okay to seek for help and to seek for advice and moral support when it comes to overcoming those challenges. Maybe speak to somebody that you feel comfortable talking to about your problems, or it could be that you're struggling. It could be that you're struggling on a particular project. It could be you're struggling to choose what module to take. It could be something bigger. It could be struggling balancing your course, your deadlines compared to something that's happening in your personal life. Regardless of how big or small that challenge is, and regardless of the problems that you're having in that challenge, just know that support and pastoral support and academic support is always going to be available to you. Be it your personal tutor, be it somebody in the leadership team within the department, maybe one of your course directors, or maybe somebody in the well-being team and the welfare team within your department. So just know that regardless of what it is, you needn't go through it on your own. And so just know that if you'd like to talk to somebody about something, that somebody would be there. And however early you might think it is, if you want to talk to somebody about your future aspirations, then that's also advised. So I remember I was maybe towards the end of my second year in my undergraduate degree when I started thinking about, do I want to do a PhD? I really like the idea of research. So in my third year, that's when we started doing a project, and I started doing a little bit of research, like a mini research project in the individual dissertation. And but it was before I started that I started thinking about the idea of doing a PhD and what would I like to do it in. So if you're already having some ideas of, oh, I really love statistics, but I don't know what to do with it later on, but I'd like to have some ideas. I'd like to speak to people within the department and to think about my options in statistics. It might be that you're not sure what you would like to go into, but you really love teaching. It might be that you love the university environment and you'd like to work in a university, be it as an academic or in the professional services team. So if you've already got some ideas of what you might like to do, it's never too early to talk about it. And it could be that you want to start off talking to your personal tutor about it, and then they can then signpost you to somebody else who might know more. And yeah, I would also say that when you do, if you are having challenges with anything to do with what's happening in your course or in your personal life, and it is related to what we spoke about in question 3. So if you believe that it's something specific to a lack of diversity, then know that the people that you might want to talk to about the problems that you're having doesn't have to be somebody that matches your profile. So it doesn't have to be somebody that belongs to the same community that you belong to, or somebody that, you know, is from the same ethnic minority. So a lot of people in academia and in the professional services team or in the academic staff member team would be happy to talk to you about those obstacles that you're having. And so just feel confident to open up to members of staff who can then help you. It's also, I would say, it's okay to change routes. So it might be at some point during your degree, you're saying, oh, I definitely want to do something to do with statistics. And then maybe later on, even after you've chosen all your stats modules, you now feel like, oh, I'm not enjoying it. I want to do something else. I want to go to pure maths, or I want to do more computing. So if you get a change of thought in terms of what you'd like to do afterwards, during the end of your degree or even after you graduate, it's never too late. So I've had that little kind of bumpy ride in terms of maths, then went to computer science, and then came back to maths. And at the moment, I'm an education and scholarship member of staff, which means that I'm not involved in much research. A lot of stuff that I do are related to teaching, education, and learning within the department. And it's a route that I chose. It's certainly not the route that I thought I was going to do when I first finished my PhD. I thought, you know, I want to be part of this research group. I want to do more research about how engineering problems are related to other mathematics problems. And so what I thought I was going to delve into when I just finished my PhD is not what I'm doing right now. But what I'm doing right now is something that I'm happy doing and something that I personally chose according to the flexibility that I get with the education and scholarship route, as well as my interests and expertise. They lie heavily more in teaching and learning and education, leadership, and less on research. And so during your journey, be it during your undergraduate degree, it could be you're in the first year, it could be you're in the last year, it could be that you've just started your postgraduate talk program, wherever you are in your journey. It could be that you've just finished your PhD. Just know that if you're not doing, if what you're doing is not something that you're enjoying it, you don't have to continue doing it. So just, you know, sit down and ask yourself, why am I doing what I'm doing? Do I want to stay in this field? Do I want to go down this career? Do I want to do another career? So ask yourself these questions and then maybe create a mind map of consisting of the different opportunities and options that you have that would then allow you to do something that you enjoy. And I would say it's very important that what you're doing is something that you enjoy. And while you're helping yourself identify what you'd like to go into, be it the subject or the particular career, try to block out any external noise that's getting in your way. So external noise could be good, or it could be something that is an obstacle itself. So if you'd like to do, I don't know, I'd like to become a statistics professor, or I'd like to be a software developer or something. If you've got your eye set on something and you know that you'd really enjoy it, and then there's somebody saying, oh no, software developer is not for people like you, or trust me, that involves a really, really difficult entry exam. You don't want to go down that route. So anything that people are giving their personal opinion, depending on the group you belong to, or depending on anything to do with your identity, I would say just block it out, because at the end of the day, it's really important that you're doing something that you enjoy and something that you aspire to be, and not to let people's stereotypes and judgments stop you from doing what you really want to do just because it doesn't fit their picture of what they think you're supposed to do. So just in a nutshell, just always follow and be whoever you want to be.
Any final comment that you want to add?
Just, I guess if anybody wanted to have a chat about what it's like doing a maths PhD, or being in academia in general, at any point, if you'd like to email me and reach out to me, I'd be happy to have a chat about it.
Great. Thank you so much.